Okay, so let's kick off this deep dive. We're looking at the Vikings, but maybe not how you always picture them.
Right. Forget the horned helmets. That's movie stuff. We're digging into the sources to understand their origin.
Exactly. Who were these people before they exploded onto the scene
Yeah.
back in Scandinavia?
We're talking, what, late 8th century? Lindisfarne, 793 is often the marker people use. That's kind of the starting pistol for the Viking Age, running to the mid 11th century.
Yeah, and the mission here is to really unpack the why. What was happening at home in, modern Denmark, Norway, Sweden.
What forces were at play? It's about moving beyond just raiders.
So let's set the scene. Homeland. What do the sources tell us?
Well, geography is huge. Rugged coasts, these deep fjords. It basically screams maritime people. They lived by the sea, mastered it.
And shipbuilding too, right?
Absolutely. Plus the land itself.
Yeah.
Especially in Norway, it's mountainous. Not a ton of great farming land everywhere.
You can immediately see the pressure, can't you, if resources are tight?
Exactly. Looking outward starts to make a lot of sense. Now, society wasn't simple either. The accounts show a clear hierarchy.
Okay.
You've got the jarls, the aristocracy chiefs, powerful figures.
Right.
Then the carls. This was the majority. Free farmers, merchants, craftsmen. They owned land, could fight, not just peasants.
So a strong middle layer, kind of.
You could say that, yeah. And then at the bottom, the thralls, enslaved people, often captives from raids or debt slaves. A harsh reality.
And it's important, the sources stress this, they were already traders, craftsmen.
Oh, definitely. Accomplished ones. They had complex skills and networks before the main raiding kicked off. They weren't starting from zero when they sailed out.
Which leads us to the big question. Why then? Why the late 8th century burst? Opportunity seems like a big one.
For sure. Think about Lindisfarne again, 793. A wealthy monastery, poorly inhabited right on the coast.
Easy target for sea-savvy people.
Totally. Portable wealth, gold, silver. It's like a flashing sign saying, come and get it. It showed how vulnerable other places were.
And they had the perfect tool for the job, didn't they? The tech.
Ah, the longship. Crucial. The sources rave about it. Fast, yeah, but also that shallow draft.
Meaning they could go up rivers, not just coastal raids.
Exactly. Deep inland. Yet they could handle open seas, too. It was like revolutionary. It connected their skills directly to those opportunities.
Okay, so opportunity technology. What about pressures back home?
Well, there are theories in the material about population growth, maybe straining local resources, land.
So more people needing land, needing wealth.
Potentially, yeah. And internal politics. Competition between jarls was fierce. A successful raid or trading voyage, that boosted your power, your prestige massively.
And for younger sons, maybe those not inheriting the main farm.
A clear path to make your own fortune, your own name. Go Viking, quite literally.
Makes sense. What about the world outside Scandinavia?
Good point. Some areas, like parts of the British Isles, were politically fragmented, unstable. That creates openings.
Easier to raid, or maybe even to settle later.
Both. And remember, they were already traders. Furs, amber, ivory, iron. They wanted to control and expand those routes, too. It wasn't just raiding.
And grimly, the sources mention trade in enslaved people, too.
Yes, that was definitely part of their economy. So these first moves out, it's a mix.
Right, not just one thing.
You have the quick, opportunistic raiding. You have trading, sometimes side by side with raiding. And exploration, just seeing what's out there, finding new lands.
So wrapping this part up, the takeaway from the sources is complexity.
Definitely. The Viking Age wasn't random. It grew out of very specific conditions in Scandinavia: geography, society, tech,
Internal politics,
external opportunities.
the drive for wealth, maybe even just curiosity, all tangled together.
Yeah. And understanding that complex web helps explain why their impact was so varied. Raiders, yes, but also traders, explorers, settlers. It wasn't a monolithic movement.
It really makes you think, looking at all those factors, the sources lay out the pressures, the ship technology, the social structure. How much of what came next, the whole sweep of the Viking Age, was almost inevitable, given where they started? Something for you to ponder.